republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome to our Monday, May 2nd school board meeting. We will start with our agenda approval, deletions, additions. Dr. Baracco.
Thank you, Mrs. Seuss. You do have an amended agenda before you with some additions to Roman numeral 7.3. That's my professional leave request to add the 3 board members to the law seminar in Indianapolis on June the 2nd. Thank you.
We have a motion by Dr. Malco,
Second.
second by Dr. Medlin. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. We'll move right into our liaison committee updates. Mr. Marshall.
I have nothing to report on personal interview.
Thank you. Dr. Medlin.
Nothing to report, thank you.
Dr. Malco.
Yes, the Lake Central Education Foundation is, again, looking for volunteers. If you're that type of person who wants to be part of Lake Central community, we have a spot waiting for you. And for Dyer Parks Department, they meet next week, so I have nothing to report on Dyer Parks. Thank you.
Thank you. And for my committees for Dollars for Scholars, May 11th is the scholarship evening, and the invites did go out, so if you got an invite, please respond to Mrs. Burita. So we'll move on to our official school board business topics consent agenda. Dr. Baracco.
Thank you again. Seek board approval for the minutes from our regular meeting and our special meeting on April 18th, as well as approval of the claims, payroll, and extracurricular expenditures you received in your packets.
Move to approve.
I have a motion by Mr. Marshall,
Second.
second by Dr. Medlin. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. There are no public comments, so we will move on to our official school board business topics, regular agenda. Dr. Baracco.
Thank you, and we're going to begin our evening with some recognitions of outstanding student achievement. For our first batch, I'd like to introduce Mr. Enyart, LC Athletic Director, to begin that process with our coaches. Thank you.
All right, at this time, we're gonna start with our first program. That's cheer. I'm gonna have Coach Loden come up, and she loves public speaking, so she's very excited to be here tonight.
The cheerleaders are getting recognized this evening for winning a national championship this past February. We attended the Universal Cheerleading Association Nationals. We entered a new division this year. We went into a non-building division. We have a lot of very talented tumblers. And we beat a team who had actually won that division like over the 5 out of the last 6 years. So it was quite exciting for the girls. We pretty much compete all year, starting in late September. We compete at state. We do a state prelim. We do some local competitions, and this was our last one. So we'll call the girls down at this time. Maddie Biggerstaff. Addison Black. Sammy Carlson. Carly Gebler. Haley Junkin. Callie Cronky. Lily Lane, who is not here this evening. Lily was also being recognized this evening for making the all-state cheer team. That is, was at state. She competed against probably over 60 girls and was one of the top 12. Grace Mills. Layla Mazura. Kelsey Moore. Peyton Morris. Catalina Murray. Haley Newton. Ryan Nolden. Eni Olenade. Jules Perko. Greta Siegert. Greta just made the Purdue University cheer team this weekend. Emma Speck. And Grace Swinarski. Kylie Tatini. And Stephanie Tufdell. Oh, Jessica. Jessica Almeida. Let's say my Haley. She got married. Is that okay?
All right, squeeze together. Mrs. Mucci's gonna get a picture. We'll step over here. Here, you can get in with them. Here, yeah, line up. Get away from me. Here. Here, squeeze in, some in the back, some in the forward.
I just told we need to get in.
No,
Come on. Richard told me.
Ed, you can get in there.
Girls, would you like to introduce your parents that are with you tonight? Or have them stand up? Parents of all their cheerleading? Would you like to stand up? Yeah. And for those of us that go to those ball games and you're always there and you're always doing those back flips, it scares me to death, but congratulations, we appreciate you. And parents, thank you.
Our next program is going to be our girls swim and diving team and Coach Kalinsky.
All right, I would just like to introduce our boys and girls team that went to state in their events that they swam in. We'll start with the girls. I'm not sure. Did I see Amana Abdullah? All right, she's not here. Anna K. Brood. She went to state in the 200 medley relay. Izzy Marcotte. I didn't see Izzy, did I? Nope, no Izzy. Megan O'Sullivan. Didn't see her either. Brenna Pacheco. She's here. She swam the 200 free relay and was also part of our sectional champion 200 free relay. Megan Sueca. She was in our 200 free relay and also sectional champion. And Jory Wilson. Jory's here. Jory was in our 200 medley relay and the 100 backstroke. All right, so we'll go with the boys here. Our boys state team this year, Aiden Blaze for diving. I did not see Aiden. we had Leo Bowman. He swam 3 events at state this year: 200 medley relay, 200 free relay, and the 100 breaststroke. Ford Crackle, he swam the 200 medley relay, 500 free, 100 back, and 400 free relay. Zach Romachi, I did not see him, but he was in diving, and he actually was 4th place this year at diving. Carter Schuster, he swam 3 events, 50 free, 200 free relay, and the 400 free relay. Eric Tinsley, 200 free, 200 breast, 200 free, 200 free relay, 100 breast, which he was sectional champion, and the 400 free relay. Tommy Tinsley, he was 200 medley relay and 200 free relay. Griffin Weber, 200 medley relay and the 400 free relay. Our 400 free relay placed 13th at state. And just for the record, our boys this year ended Munster's 36-year sectional winning streak.
All right, yeah.
How about parents of the swim teams? Would you stand up for a round of recognition?
Our next program is our Central Lefts program and Coach Kevin Mathis.
Good evening. As Chris said, my name is Coach Kevin. Been here for a while. The girls this year had one of those historic years where they went out and pretty much swept just about everything that we entered this year. Our varsity team was the state champion in AAA in jazz, pom, as well as hip hop, making the consecutive winning since 1995, a total of 50 state championships for this Lake Central. We also had another champion with our trio, our small ensemble, which was Lily Rogers, Grace Penna, and Gabriella Grahovic. Our dancers also went to the national championship and competed in all 3 categories. Our our hip hop finished 4th in the nation. Our pom was national runner-up, and our medium jazz was national champion. Which marks the 18th national title that these girls have brought back to Lake Central. I know you guys all want to get out of here, so I'll go quick. First up, we have 2 of them together. Oh, recognizing Alexa Edwards, Madison Galaka, Gabriella Grahovic, Chloe Hardesty, Isabella Holdren, Megan Martowitz, Grace Penna, Courtney Pereira, Gianna Poulos, Lily Rogers, Jillian Brzezowski-Frizel, Vivian Denson, who is home ill today, Fiona Hopkins, Olivia Iguardia, Addison Schalk, Abby Olindindi, and Amir Youssef.
Okay, ladies, would you please show us where your parents are? Parents, would you stand up for a round of applause? You certainly deserve it.
All right, our next program is going to be our gymnastics team. I don't think I saw Coach Barcelli here. All right, so this Lake Central gymnastics program's taken quite a turn in the last 4 years with these young ladies. They'll go down as one of the most decorated teams. They finished 4th in the state for the 3rd consecutive year. So congratulations to them. Our first gymnast is Chloe Manatitis. Liliana Ventura Sullivan. Sydney Black. Haley Delgado. Alexa Rimley. Taylor Semenzi. Ava Gutyan. Isabella Martisic. Amanda Todd. Elise Blackhurst. Andy, we'll call her Andy. Andy Bucarica. Angela. All right, Angela. Sorry. Sophia DeMontis. And Savannah Lamb. And Christina Amanda Titus.
Okay, parents of the gymnastics team members, would you stand up, parents? Thank you for your dedication.
And our last program we're going to talk about is our wrestling team. I don't think I saw Coach Trivline here. Coach Miller was here, I think. He must have stepped out. So on behalf of them, we had 3 individuals qualify for the state finals this year. Our first was Jake Seuss. Guillermo Rivera. And Johnny Cortez, who finished 4th at the state finals this year. Congratulations.
You know, I really, really want to express our appreciation to coaches for giving us these names and for supporting all of our students the way you do, coaches and parents. I have to make a special announcement because as I look at this group, there's 2 families I've known since the little ones were in kindergarten. That would be the Tinsley family and the Cortez family. So many years, many years. But I do believe, Mr. Mathis, could I put you on the spot? Can you refresh my memory about your awards, what they came to, if you a cumulative number? Oh, I put him on the spot, didn't I? Well,
Wow. The state championship, the girls won 3 state titles this year, which would have been their 50th since 1995.
50th state title since 19,
And then they won jazz this year, which would have been their 18th national title since the same year.
18th
They
jazz.
did also do one extra thing. I can hear it in the audience back there. They were also grand national champions out of 174
All
schools.
right. Well, it's quite a cumulative number of awards that you have earned with the girls and their parents. And I do believe that there are some signs that are going to be found celebrating that at the entrances of the Dyer, Cherville, and St. John communities. And that was put together by some of the parents of the Centralettes. So that'll be a nice reminder to those of us that come through our community. Thank you.
Kevin? Yes, sir. May I ask you a tongue-in-cheek question? How old are you? No. Good job. Yes.
Well, this was a nice night to celebrate. We want to thank all the students for all their hard work, and we want to thank their parents for supporting them, our coaches for guiding them, and we want to thank everybody for coming out this evening to celebrate this. We are going to continue with the rest of our business meeting of the board, but if you need to get on to other things, this is a good time to check out.
Yeah. Rob? Jake, good job. Kevin, as always.
All right, so my second item this evening is just to review some key topics from our superintendent's spring meeting that took place 2 weeks ago. The first key item was from Lisa Tansel of the School Board Association. She's the attorney. She wanted to address SEA 83 open meetings and this legislation that passed that goes into effect immediately as soon as the governor signed it, was that we must permit public comment at every public meeting. And so the way this impacts us is if we have an open dialogue like we do when we review board policies at our work sessions, we need to have a spot on there for the public to comment at our work sessions. We haven't had people attend in our work sessions for the most part because we're not taking any action. But nonetheless, that's a change for us. I think the key on this piece would be, since we generally talk about the board policies and then bring them back at a future public meeting for action, the public actually would have 2 opportunities to comment on any of those board policies. And the other key piece was that comment must be allowed prior to a vote. And those of you who've been on the board for a while know about 5 or 6 years ago, we switched to having comments twice a meeting. So the early comment period is for any action item. The later comment period is only for things that aren't on the agenda, anything else somebody would want to comment about. We are allowed to set reasonable time limits for our comments, as well as a total time limit, which Mrs. Suze always announces. I do think that we've always in the past extended the time necessary to let everybody who signed up say a few words of their concern. The other thing is that virtual meetings moving forward are only allowed if the state or local government declares a disaster emergency, which means that for us to meet in present would present a risk to any of us. And the other piece is that at least one of our schools in the district would have to be closed for the disaster emergency. So it's not likely we'd be doing any total virtual meetings in the immediate future, barring, I guess, something like a tornado. So any comments about that? I mean, as I mentioned at our work session, I think we're pretty good because we have a pretty good system in place already. The next item is HEA 1093. And so the ISBA updated a report. And so this has to do with the number of e-learning or virtual student instruction days that we have per year. At the meeting, they were anticipating an update from the DOE, and we did get that update. And so in your packet, you received the updated piece, and as mentioned in there, we can do up to 3 asynchronous days with as a substitute for a snow day. And after that, we have to make up those days at the end of the year, unless we have live instruction for 50% of that instructional day, which equates to us to about 3 hours and 15 minutes. And so, as mentioned to the board earlier, we are going to reconvene the e-learning committee to work through these items, and we'll bring that piece back to the board at a future meeting this summer after we've had a time to, talk through what that would look like. For us, typically 3 days should be enough. I mean, we've had some years where we only had 1 or 2 snow days. We've had some with as many as 5 or 6, but typically, like this year we were 4, typically we are around 3 or 4. So that is some relief for us, but we still need to continue to pay attention to that, because if you don't hit the 180 days, you don't get your full tuition support, and that's not an option for Lake Central. And then my final item is the Department of Local Government Finance and the wording of public referenda questions. Once again, the required language on the public question on the ballots has changed. It continues to be, in my opinion, and in the opinion of many others, confusing. This year, they changed the question to sharing a percentage increase in taxes for the average resident, when in the past it would say how many cents per $100 of assessed value your taxes would go up or would be impacted. And so it's important for us as an organization to continue to talk to our legislators about the importance of making this question easier for rank and file people to understand. It continues to not be as clear as it needs to be. And as somebody who's done a couple of these campaigns, when you're explaining it to people at their door, if the way the question reads when they get to the voting booth looks really different from what you've explained on their doorstep, it makes people anxious. And I think the important piece here is to be fair. If people know what the impact is and they don't value it, they have a right to vote no. But the important piece is the question shouldn't create doubt or concern or confusion for voters. And so we want to continue to work with our General Assembly to say, let's look at this piece and let's figure out, even if it requires us to have more words on the ballot, to make sure that the question is more easily understood by the general public. So I believe we need to make it a priority moving forward to talk to those people who represent us down in Indianapolis to try to make this better. Any questions about any of that stuff?
Has anything surfaced with the Valparaiso situation? Since it really is a decrease, but the verbiage will say increase.
Well, I mean, the DLGF passes the question as they see fit, and then it's the job of the individual districts to explain to their constituents what it means. And the important part there, of course, is that you convince enough people that what you're explaining in terms of the impact of them as a homeowner and a resident is what it will be. But
Yeah.
the question does create confusion the way it is written, especially for Valparaiso, given that they're reducing how much they're asking for. But as I told you earlier, when they received a strong endorsement from their Chamber of Commerce, so they've got the business people behind them, it'd be my assumption that their parents would be strongly behind them, and so then you have to just figure out how to get to that 51% vote.
So there's been quite a bit of dialogue in the Valpo community about the wording of that referendum question. Would you guess?
I don't know, I live here, but I know that their superintendent has been on the record as saying, as he's knocking on doors and as he's explaining to people, that there is some confusion about the way the question's worded.
Yeah, because, I mean, I hadn't heard anything about the Valpo situation until you told us about that tonight. So I wondered, Howard, I know you read the paper a lot. Did you see anything in the paper about Valpo and the referendum question?
Yes, it was in the paper.
It was? It talked about the inaccuracy?
How confusing it could be.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and my final item this evening is to seek permission for 3 board members as well as myself to travel to Indianapolis in early June to attend the ISBA, Indiana School Board Association Legal Seminar.
Move to approve.
Thank you, Howard.
We have a motion by Mr. Marshall, and I will second that. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Move on to our Director of Human Resources Personnel, Mrs. Mucha.
Thank you very much. I'm asking for approval for the personnel items in your packet, but I want to bring to your attention Lane Whiting, who has been a bus driver for us for 31 years.
Wow. Thank you.
Move to approve the personnel.
Second.
We have a motion by Dr. Medlin and a second by Mr. Marshall. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. I wanted to give you an update on the emergency buckets. We started at $11,810, and these are the pending ones that are coming. Educational Foundation, Dyer Town Council, our trustee's office for St. John, Marathon Pipe, and Sheriffville Fire Association, which will give us $19,350
All right.
for our total of $31,160. So we thank the generosity of all of our community members, and we're almost there. And then I can quit talking about emergency buckets.
So you were needing 36,000, or that was your goal?
36,000, yes.
Yeah, and the $19,000 one is from,
19 is the total from all those people who are, the checks are pending.
okay, thank you.
So we're excited. Thank you. We also just wanted to bring to your attention that we are participating in the food bank distribution with the Food Bank of Northwest Indiana. Their central office administrators and whatever building people can find their time to be free. This Friday at May 6th from 11:30 to 1:30 in the soccer parking lot. So we're happy to help our community with that food bank.
Absolutely.
And my last item is to ask for your permission for the professional leave form that was in your packet.
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Marshall. Second by Dr. Malco. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Move on to our Director of Primary Education, Dr. Bracy.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am coming before you tonight seeking your approval for the professional leave request you have received in your packets.
So moved.
We have a motion by Dr. Malco,
Second.
second by Dr. Medlin. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion
Thank you.
passes.
Thank you. Also, Mrs. Castaneda and I would like to share some exciting news. For the first time in quite some time, and we think it's been a very long time, we're going to have the same math series for grades K through 12 in Lake Central. Our committees have voted for Reveal Math for our students beginning in the 22-23 school year. That means consistency in vocabulary, algorithms, and vertical alignment across grade levels. Based on the Department of Education's Keep Indiana Learning, Reveal Math is rated 4 stars because it aligns 100% with the Indiana standards. It provides teachers with an easy-to-use lesson path. Teachers are also given support in choosing between activity-based lessons or guided exploration as students build their conceptual understanding, and it was huge for us to have a program that focused on conceptual understanding. It supports differentiation in every lesson. Reveal Math encourages students' thinking by providing strong questions. Reveal contains a variety of assessments, and these assessments and the questions in those assessments are the key reason Reveal's 4-star rating. Reveal provides exit tickets with every single lesson. It's already integrated into Clever, and there's a seamless integration into Canvas. There is a digital component that identifies students who did not understand the lesson, and it provides guided supports and interventions for those students. And there is also an online platform that provides adaptive instruction. Also, at the beginning of this school year, we had purchased, I don't know if you're familiar with Dr. Nikki Newton, but we had purchased her training sessions for guided math, and several of our teachers have gone through those courses, or they are going through those courses. We have it until the end of September. Well, come to find out, Dr. Nikki Newton has partnered with Reveal Math. She's provided support for them for their guided math portion of their lessons. So we are very excited to welcome Reveal Math to the Lake Central community.
Thank you.
How was your committee constructed? Did you have K through 12 representation?
So for elementary, we have representation K through 4. There are 31 committee members. 29 all voted for Reveal, and the other 2, one person, Reveal was their first choice, Bridges was their second, and the other person, Bridges was their first choice, and Reveal was their second. So all 31 people had Reveal on their list.
And the assessments that are in this, typically that's kind of a weak area for textbooks. What was your assessment of the assessments?
Their assessments fit our needs. The only, there was one part that we had looked at. Lisa Alessandri, our instructional coach, she's been digging through the data and she's been going through the books. And the only area, and our committee had also noticed that for end of first grade and into second grade, it was, we needed more for time and money. So we already have it all planned out. We're going to provide more resources to address those gaps. But those are the only gaps we found with the program.
Okay, and will the high ability classes be using this same?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Move on to our Director of Secondary Education, Mrs. Castaneda.
Thank you. As Dr. Bracy shared, we're excited that Reveal will be used across the elementary, middle, and high school level. Reveal will be used at the middle school level with grades 5 through 8 for the regular and the advanced track, and then it'll be used at the high school level with Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2. In regards to the assessments, because Dr. Bracy already shared a great deal about the program, we do feel, having our middle and high school math coach take a look at it, that the questions on the assessments and the assignments do mirror more of the types that they'll see on iLearn, PSAT, and SAT. So we are very excited that that level of rigor is there in those questions that'll be on the assessments.
Very good.
In the packets, for the upper level high school courses, you also saw that we had textbooks listed for statistics, AP statistics, pre-calc and trig, and AP calculus. Those actually are just the updated versions of the current ones that they're using. They're the most recent editions of them. As you saw in Mrs. Novak's presentation on our AP scores, we've had a great deal of success with AP statistics as well as AP calculus, and so the teachers do feel that the updated version of their current textbooks will meet those needs. And so that's the full list of the textbook selections for elementary as well as secondary. Any questions?
I don't think so.
Great. For my second item then, I'm seeking your approval for the professional leave requests that you received in your board packet.
Move to approve the professional leave requests.
We have
Second.
a motion by Dr. Medlin and a second by Mr. Marshall. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. I would actually personally just like to thank Danielle Carr, who is our high school computer science teacher. She's attending a great deal of training this summer, and we think it's going to be a huge benefit to the program. And then for my last item, I am seeking your approval for the field trip requests that were in your packet.
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Marshall. Second by Dr. Malco. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Move right along to our Director of Business Services, Mr. James.
Thank you. As part of the process for the Bibbage Expansion Construction Project, we've talked about how we will be selling a portion of the parcel at Bibbage to the building corporation, and it's going to be approximately $2.4 million that will come then to our books that will be used toward the construction project. And so this is the time where we get to have a public hearing of the use of those additional appropriations into our books. So at this point, I will turn it over to the public to see if anyone has any comment. Okay, hearing none. Now I seek the board's approval on the adoption of the additional appropriation resolution that was included in your board packet.
So moved.
I have a motion by Dr. Malco, and I will second that. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. The next item is seek your approval for the professional leave request in your board packet.
Move to approve.
We have a motion by Mr. Marshall,
Second.
second by Dr. Medlin. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
And then finally, seek your approval for the donations that were in your board packet.
Also move to approve.
We have a motion by Mr. Marshall,
Second.
second by Dr. Malco. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have no public comments, so we'll move on to our board comments and consideration of future agenda items. Mr. Marshall?
I have nothing other than to say it's been a very full evening, enjoyable, and that's it.
Thank you. Dr. Medlin?
Just want to say thank you to all the teachers, given that it's a Teacher Appreciation Week, and thank you for being so wonderful. That is all.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Dr. Malco?
Yes, and I would agree. Thank you to all of our staff members for just doing the excellent work you do. It's Staff Appreciation Week, and all of you are very valuable, and we appreciate that. The commitment that you bring to our school corporation is very much appreciated. It was a fun night. It was a great night. We had the art show, and we had all this celebration, and that's what schools are supposed to be about, and so it's kind of nice that we're getting back to that these days. I did happen to run out to see a bit of the track meet, so it looks like our boys' track team is doing well too, so it's a very good time of year, and of course the varsity and JV softball and baseball teams, they're just rocking it out there, so it's good things happening. We appreciate it. Augmenting our instruction in the classroom is all about that team building that's out there, all about the team building that they brought in, learning to respect each other and to be a part of a team. So that's it for me. Thank you.
And I thank all of our teachers, our staff, and everyone that makes Lake Central what it is. So thank you. And with that, we'll turn it over to Dr. Veraco. Board calendar, future activities.
Thank you. We will be back in 2 weeks. We'll have a special celebration of our retirees at that time, as well as our Teacher of the Year for the current school year. So look forward to that celebration, in addition to possibly a few more recognitions. So thank you.
All right, do we have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
And we're adjourned.
All right.
You have to sign all this, so don't leave this.
Yes.